Here's a little song we call the Minnesota song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, yes, sir, it gets cold in Minnesota. But I'm telling y'all, it's the best damn place to be. As long as you don't mind a little fishing and throwing on your skates to play hockey. Alright. The mighty Mississippi from Itasca and Duluth, it knows its great lake. That's right. All them rowdy boys down in the city, Lord. Together, Minnesota is what we made. Yeah, man. I said, here in Minnesota, we got pride, pride, pride. Your fellow heroes flaunt our name, flaunt it out. I said, don't mess with them boys from Minnesota. They'll send you all right back from where you came. Pedal steel now.
All right, you all set, man? You need a second.
I'm good. I was born ready. I did. Oh, we got the Sly Dogs already liked my poster. I said,
all right.
Fun times of setting up a live Cobra and Fire rock podcast.
You know, if he was a real supporter, he'd be here.
Well, you know, he does live in San Diego.
Yeah. There's mass transit all over the place.
Well, you know, the LC should be here as well then if you're going to make the Sly Dog fly.
I didn't invite LC, so...
anyway. How are we going to keep this?
I don't know. Welcome to Cobras and Fire. I don't know if we should just do this as like a sun's out, mic's out, but we're in. So sun's out, but mic's in. I mean, it's hot as fuck outside right now, so...
heat index hitting 100 this weekend.
Yeah, okay. Well, my name is Bakko. If you're listening to this, if you're watching it on whatever video service we're using, you can see that I am joined with the mayor of Minneapolis, Andy Schaal. We are recording live at the CC Club on 26th and Lyndale in Minneapolis. This is kind of a fun idea they had. They actually reached out to me and about doing a podcast here. I think they were look. I don't know how much they know the show, but I think they thought that we were entirely based here, and that but we have a global audience.
Global
Andy.
reach, yes.
I think we were number 4 in Croatia last week.
I thought Azerbaijan, you are killing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Estonia, fucking off the chart.
So I call you the mayor because I have a handful of friends. You're kind of like a mix between two of my southern Minnesota friends. A guy named Bryce. He basically, you know, he's one of my closest friends that I still stay in contact with from high school. And then a friend of mine, Dale. Now,
Let me just turn the volume in my...
yeah, okay. Oh, he's whining about... How about that? Is that better?
Just a skosh up.
Okay.
There, perfect.
All right.
There.
So, Dale, anytime we leave the state,
Yep.
Dale runs into somebody he knows from his small town of Medford. You know, we'll be just...
that Dale.
Yeah.
From Medford.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you know him. And I had the same experiences with you. Like when we're in Nashville, it's like all of a sudden you're bumping into somebody from Minneapolis or whatever.
Well, hold on here, Bakko, because when you and I went to Rockin' Pod 3 and we were at the airport, you ran into a guy from your high school while we were waiting for our flight. He was on the the Southwest flight.
Yeah, Chad.
So right back at you there.
Yeah, his dad was my boss. He owned the restaurant I worked at in high school. Yeah, Bill Cook. And there's
Wait a minute, a guy named Bill Cook owned a restaurant.
He did.
Apropos.
And there was a corncob water tower in Rochester. That
sounds hot.
That was the corn. That was the cob of corn up Bill Cook's ass.
That sounds even hotter.
The sadly deceased Bill Cook. He was actually a good boss.
Is he the one that gave you the moniker Bakko?
No, that was
no.
See, LC is such a good listener. You know what I mean? I think he credited my friend's dad with giving me the name, even though if you listen to the story, it was my friend who gave me the name. It was his father who passed.
Okay.
Got it. Two different things. But again, without Jim, there's no Greg. Without Greg, there's no Bakko. So and we call Greg Furno. So
Okay, so that is his contribution to the world. Greg's contribution to the world.
yeah, and it was actually a big part of the funeral ceremony was to talk about one of the achievements that you had. It's like I spawned the guy who came up with Bakko.
Wow.
And Bakko, would you please stand up? You know what
Yes,
I mean?
yes.
It was the only part of the funeral I paid attention to. But
I have a funeral story, but we can get to that later.
okay, well let's dive into it. But we'll start with where I was going there, and then we'll
Yes.
get your funeral story.
I'm the mayor of Minneapolis.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Andy Schaal.
Don't you
know? Apropos to join us here in Minneapolis, but and I'll wrap up that fucking story too. Jesus Christ, we're already off the rails.
Jesus Chrysler.
I started thinking about the funerals I've gone to. Well, I was sitting there bored as shit. Look, you're there to pay your respects. You do this stuff. So this is not really a complaint, but they're so fucking boring. And they're just really a church service typically. And I started to realize that, like, if I think back on all the funerals, with the exception of probably my father's,
Yep.
and maybe Treble's mother, because I actually played with Treble at the funeral. We performed a song. I don't remember the funerals at all, unless something happens, like
A wet T-shirt concert.
Well, I remember this
breaks out.
This guy that my grandma liked to sing. She had asked for him to sing at her funeral, and so I remember how bad he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really bad. I'm like, my grandma liked this guy, and then I remember getting saved at Amy's father's funeral. And I'm like, how do I undo this? I didn't know this was part of it. But
did you get baptized at the funeral?
But I remember I was asked to accept the Lord Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, as was everybody else there. It was just like a group way to like get you in the cult.
Sure.
My point there I'm getting at, Andy, is and this is why we get sidetracked, is I don't remember the funerals. I remember the before and I remember the after, but the funerals are basically just all the same fucking thing. So, miss you, Jim. Sorry, I just took a shit all over your funeral. But anyway, what was your funeral story?
So a classmate of mine passed away a few years ago, and my friends from high school and I went to the funeral, and his mother was there, my buddy's mother, and I had never met her before, but from the stories I heard, my friend Kirk actually was raised by his grandmother, and the mom was kind of dipped in and out of his life from time to time. So I went up to the mother and said, "Hi, my name's Andy. I went to elementary and junior high and high school with Kirk." And she's like, "Oh, my God, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Did you used to stay over at the house?" And I just kind of went, "Oh, yeah, sure." I was kind of, just going along with the story. And after we walked away, my friend Lana looks at me and she goes, you hung out with Kirk and stayed over at his house? Because he lived in the Minneapolis housing projects in North Minneapolis, which in the 80s, over off Olson Memorial Highway and 94, that was your hardcore gang drug territory. Well, it probably is still now, too. So anyways, and I said, "No, Lana, I'd never stayed over there." But, she asked me, and I just kind of wanted to make a grieving mother feel okay. So we get to the funeral service, and the mom goes up there, and she's thanking everyone for coming to the funeral. And she's like, "And I would just really like to say thank you to one of Kirk's oldest friends who came here today. Andy, would you stand up?" And I'm like, I stand up, and I just kind of nod. And Andy was such a good friend to Kirk, and he used to stay over at the house all the time. And I'm just like, oh my God.
You ever given a eulogy?
I have not given a eulogy, no.
I did at my father's, and I'm going to dump it on one of my sisters when the mother goes.
Okay.
I don't think I want to do that. Look, with my dad, I had to do it, but it was fucking hard, man.
I bet.
Treble did it at his mom's, and it was emotional even for me, and I didn't know her that well, you know what I mean? She didn't have a son who named me Bakko, you know what I mean?
Right. Now, when my mother passed, my brother gave the eulogy, and he had a baby shower or a wedding to go to on that same Saturday. So we had the funeral Saturday morning, then I think he was going to a wedding Saturday night. So he goes, "I'm kind of hitting all the major life events in one day." So he goes, "If anyone knows of any other life events that I can stop by today, please let me know." Well,
let's get back to this mayor talk.
Yes.
So I mentioned Bryce. He's the friend. By the way, he went to Jim's funeral with me. And we hung out. We visited the gravesite of a classmate of ours afterwards. But Bryce, when you were in Owatonna, everybody knows him. Everywhere you go, anywhere, everybody know, and he knows them.
Sure.
And I'm like, so he should be the mayor of Owatonna. So you're kind of like, and you're like that too with you know where everything is in Minneapolis. You have a horribly long and boring story about everything that goes on. Before we started recording, I was like, are we still talking about Art of World? Jesus. Yeah.
Ouch. Busted.
But anyway, Mayor.
Well, I've lived here for, 47 of my almost 50 years.
I get it. No, I poke at you, but I actually respect it. Well, we're talking about death, and you and I are every day getting a step closer to it.
Some days even faster. Yeah.
The body wears down a little bit, and it's like I'm even a different man physically than I was probably when you and I first met. Was about 6-7 years ago.
So I've heard. Amy, I won't spill your secrets.
I'm actually bouncing back, I think. I'm probably close to the level I was then, but I had a pretty big dip in there with the back issue. But, when the band got back together to record the song Broken People that we just released,
yes.
The first half hour was, oh, my feet are killing me. Oh, really? I got this back problem. It was just all this nonsense. And then when I was in Owatonna for that funeral, it came up that like how it affects us going to concerts. It's like,
yep.
I still like going to concerts, but god damn, I can't stay on my feet for 3 hours.
Oh, it's the worst.
And I know that like when I was buying Foo Fighter tickets,
yep.
I could get field tickets. But I'd be standing the whole time,
Ooh.
or but I'd be closer to the band, or
Right.
it could be all the way back across because they block off the actual infield of the ballpark and nobody can be there.
Oh, yep.
So you're about as far away as you can get, but I got lower level seats,
Yeah.
but I'm still not like these aren't going to be great seats. I'm just hoping the sound hits good, but I'm like, I want to be able to sit when I need to sit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
How about you? Specifically, like, what ails you, and like, how does it affect how you make plans?
Oh man, where do I begin? So I'll be turning 50 here in September, and in the last 6 months to a year, I've had plantar fasciitis. So my feet have been killing me, and I'm a runner, so that means I can't run for time.
Yeah.
And then about a month ago, I was grilling burgers out on the deck. And,
I like where this is going.
And it was kind of one of those drizzly evenings, so I'm in and out getting stuff, the cheese and plate to throw the burgers on. And as I come back into the house, I've been wearing like these Skechers.
We should have a burger cook-off.
Oh, yeah. I was wearing these Skechers, and they got wet. And I hit our kitchen floor, and my ankle goes straight, and then it curves. And I like hyperextend it as it's turning. And I just let out like this, scream. And my wife's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I just, overextended my foot, and I think I might have broken my ankle. And, my wife's a nurse, so her first instinct is to come over and look at it. I'm like, no, fuck my ankle. Go get the burgers off the grill. They're done. I don't want singed burgers. That nurse instinct, though, kicks in. But let's keep things in check here. That's right. I got 6 burgers out on the grill. We're not letting those go to waste.
What are you doing, you idiot? Get out there and get the burgers.
So she gets the burgers off the grill, come in, she looks at it, it's fine, but it's just hurting like a son of a bitch all weekend. So finally on Monday I go to Twin City Orthopedic.
TCO, they took care of me.
TCO, baby, that's right. And they x-rayed it and everything, and they're like, I think you just sprained the area by the tendons right here on your ankle.
You can just say ankle. Yeah.
Ankle, yeah. So they put me in a boot, and I had to wear the boot for like a week and a half. And that's a pain in the ass trying to get upstairs because my office for work is down in the basement.
Yep.
And then the bathroom's upstairs, the kitchen, so I'm up and down those damn stairs all day long. And wearing a boot is not fun, let me tell you.
No.
So let's see. Oh, and I've had to get hearing aids. I've been married to the wife over here behind you for 23 years. And for 23 years, she's always complained about my hearing. And finally, she said, we're not going to make another 23 years unless you get your ears taken care of. So I got hearing aids a couple months ago. Pretty exciting. Yeah. Man. And then what else? We got high blood pressure, acid reflux, iron deficiency. So I'm taking meds for all of those fun things.
I'm on 2 actual prescription medicines, one for blood pressure, one for allergies.
Yep.
I have like debilitating seasonal allergies, except for there's no season. Like it's just year round.
Well, you're a cat owner. Have you thought about that?
I actually did, but no, it's I took the allergy test. It's not the dander or anything. Like no,
Okay.
I can be away for the cats for 3 days in a different state,
Yep.
and when it kicks in, it just kicks in. all this pollen count or it's this time of year. That stuff matters to a certain extent, but it really doesn't in my case. So, yeah. And then I'm on 4 supplements that I've chosen to take. 2 vitamins, a uric acid supplement, and for my tetraglycosides, I don't know, fish oil. I take fish oil.
Oh, do you get the fish oil burps?
I don't, no.
Oh, because I've seen the pills in the store, and someone will even put it on the label. They say, no fish oil burp.
I bought 2 bottles with 160 pills in each on Amazon in like March, and I just did the math the other day. I was like, wait a second, I'm halfway through bottle number 2. Bullshit, there's 160. This should be almost a year.
Right?
Yeah. God. You said you had a list of your favorite prescription medicine songs.
Well, Bakko, I do like to watch television, and especially once, we get to the NFL season starting here, those prescription drug ads are going to be on, nonstop. Mm-hmm. So I walk around my house, and my poor wife has to listen to me sing all the damn theme songs. I feel sorry for Alicia.
A1C.
That's right. I didn't even know what A1C was a year ago.
Same.
Now I'm singing about it every time. And
they seem way too happy. Also,
totally.
Like, you're on what is it? Diabetes medication?
Diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes ain't fun, man.
No.
So
nothing to laugh about.
You sure shouldn't do a fucking dance routine with the entire city around a fucking fountain over it.
That's right. The one I like, though, is...
you have a tendency to slide away. I'm trying to keep us both in the camera shot. I'm getting worried because I don't have a cameraman, so I'm just... Yeah, anyway. I know it.
Low-budget
I put on the Jimmy Choo cologne today, so it shouldn't be too offensive yet.
Ooh, very nice.
Very nice. Anyway, what do we got?
Well, there's not for a theme song, but just the ad. Whenever I hear the ads for Rinvoq, I hear it's a JAK inhibitor. And the 12-year-old in me just starts snickering like Beavis and Butthead because I don't want a JAK inhibitor. Who wants to inhibit JAK?
What's the opposite of inhibiting? Inhibiting? I want a JAK enabler.
There we go, a JAK. That's the Cobras and Fire Podcast.
Yeah, there we go.
A JAK enabler.
You know what? I'm going to start working on on a prescription drug that's just specifically a JAK enabler.
Exactly. So, that, and I do like, what's the other one that the ads are? Oh, Cologuard. Have you seen the ads for Cologuard?
Yeah, by the way, just get a colonoscopy, people. Thanks to Obama, they're free. And if anything comes up on your colon thing, you're going to have to take the thing anyway. And at that point, it's no longer free. Because you chose to poop in a box. You coward. Just go get the fucking colonoscopy. It's no big deal.
And poor Fred the mailman has to pick up your poop box, and deliver that.
My mailman's name is like Yusef or something like that.
Through sleet, snow, and rain, and now poop boxes.
Fuck that. Those guys, they act like they're freaking warriors. But if you haven't shoveled your sidewalk since it snowed yesterday, can't deliver it. Oh yeah. Well, really, what happened through rain, hail, sleet, or snow, fuckhead?
Well, they're pissed off because they're hauling poop boxes away all day long. Wouldn't you be, Bakko?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So let's hear. So, then the other name I really love for prescription meds is Sotyktu. I mean, you just can't, not smile when you say that word. Sotyktu. Yeah. It's a fun word. Yeah. So let's see here. So top 3 theme songs. It's kind of, number 3 is kind of a, ripoff because it's Ozempic. And they're using that pilot song from the 70s. It's magic. Whoa, 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 it's magic. Now, you've
heard about people using Ozempic for weight loss?
I have.
I saw a news story on it that because of that, they're having a harder time keeping enough Ozempic around for people that need it, right?
Sure.
And I watched this news story, and at no point in the news story were they like, maybe people who don't need it for diabetes should wait till we can catch up on supply. Like, there was like, what are things patients can do? Well, try to plan ahead and contact your doctor. And like, how about, hey, fat ass, if you don't have diabetes, why don't you fucking wait for this miracle cure? Get a gym membership.
There you go.
Start eating a little healthier. And then once we get some more of this shit, go ahead, jab it in you. But no, like,
that sounds hot.
The people that talk about fake news typically are the ones spreading fake news.
Yes.
And they're never talking about what the news actually does, which is a bad job. You know what I mean? It's like that is like, are you a news reporter or are you an advertiser for Ozempic?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, Jesus. Both.
I tell you.
Anyway, carry on.
And then, so number 3 is Ozempic. Number 2 theme song is Sky Rizzy.
Now, how does that one go?
Well, Sky Rizzy.
Wait, I thought Ozempic was the I'm lowering my A1C.
No, we're getting to that.
Okay, all right, Sky Rizzy.
Okay, Sky Rizzy, that is for Crohn's disease. And the commercial I normally see is there's this hot chick, like model hot, but she's got Crohn's disease, so she's, has diarrhea a lot. And she's getting on this private yacht with her boyfriend and his friends. And, the song itself isn't very memorable, but at the end it goes, whoa.
Okay.
So, I didn't say these were all going to be good.
Well, what's the number 1?
Number 1 is Jardiance.
Jardiance, okay.
Jardiance. I'm lowering my A1C.
God, they're just so happy.
They are.
So fucking happy.
There's a guy sitting on a yacht in the Bahamas who came up with that damn theme song, and he's just going ka-ching every time that's on NBC News every night.
I remember that boner pill commercial that showed the guy like kind of our age, but a little more like weathered and aged, like a gray fox kind of look.
Oh, yeah.
In the backyard in the jeans and the T-shirt whipping a football through it.
Yeah, he was hot.
He's like, yeah, look at me, man. I can get hard again. Woof. It's too bad the side effect of a boner pill is that curing cancer,
Right, exactly. I'm glad we're putting all of our science and technology towards boner pills. I mean, at least we have priorities in this country.
Well,
anyway. Fuck the homeless.
Well, let's talk about the CC Club now.
Yeah,
so I have a lot of history with this place. Now, for me, in the 90s. It was like CC Club, Mortimer's up the street, a couple blocks over. We had Liquor Lyle's, and then Lee's Liquor Barn, kind of a little further away. So these aren't all within walking distance by any means, but they were kind of the scene that we would go to if we weren't going to see, if we just wanted to go hang out.
Yep.
Not necessarily worry about live music or stuff like that, because there's a lot of good live music venues, but these were the bars we went to. They used to have a lot of old school video games back here. It looks like most of them are gone. They have the Kiss Pinball, the new one.
Well, hold on, Bakko. We got the Miss Pac-Man bar top with Galaga in it.
That's lazy, though. I mean, Miss Pac-Man and Galaga is all over the place. But they had fucking Tron. You know what I mean?
Love the little bikes.
Now, fortunately, not too far up on Lyndale here is just across Lake Street. You got Uptown.
Yes.
You ever been there?
Uptown in Minneapolis?
No, Uptown.
Oh, no, I've not.
Uptown is, if you love, like, 80s video games.
Well, there's still time this afternoon, Bakko, once we wrap up here.
Yeah, I have an Uptown fanny pack that still has a bunch of tokens in it that I really do need. I probably should have fucking brought that today. I'm never this close to it. But, yeah, it's a fucking old school adult arcade. So
adult arcade is like Jenna Jameson inside?
No, in the sense of like you get 6 beers and 40...
how many dog beers is that?
6, 7, 42. But you get that, a fanny pack filled with 40 tokens for like $30 or something like that.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fun. We've gone with friends a bunch of times. So, yeah, they have a Tron game.
Nice.
So, anyway.
Nice. Now, I should point out here we also have Big Game Hunter to my right. Every douchey guy in the 90s played that.
I love fucking Buck Hunter. Fuck you.
Sorry,
absolutely.
Bakko.
I used to, there used to be a Green Mill at the mall, the Rosedale Mall.
Yeah.
And I would get off work about an hour before my wife would. I'd go in and I'd have a couple Budweisers and I'd fucking play some Buck Hunter.
Whoa, hold on here. Stop the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You drank Budweiser, not
for
Coors
the longest
Light.
time. I don't know when I switched to Coors Light.
When they went woke, did you switch to Coors Light?
No. I went out and bought some Bud Light just because of that, you motherfucker, man.
Go woke, go broke.
Yeah. Okay.
Kid Rock. You listen to Kid Rock, don't you?
Last time I had Kid Rock on in my car, I stole my own catalytic converter. I don't know.
The other day, I saw someone on Facebook had posted that the Kid Rock's discography is the music that you would listen to while stealing copper from the city streetlights.
I heard it was the music that people who know the exact amount of Sudafed you can buy listen to.
Without having to give your name and address, phone number.
Yeah.
Actually, Kid Rock...
No, you have to give it anyway. They'll only sell you so much. I was on Claritin D for a while, and that drove me. I was like, all these fucking crackheads, I got to go through this fucking rigmarole just to get fucking, so I don't sneeze.
Right. Well, actually, the Kid Rock music is the official waiting room music of the methadone clinic.
Well, that's where all his heroes are.
That's right. Oh, and we should point out today is Sunday, July 14th, and if you haven't been watching the news for the last 24 hours, Bakko, you haven't heard that poor Shannon Doherty passed away.
I did hear, yeah. I was hoping that you were going to go that direction and not a different one. There's another news item that's kind of eating up the feed.
Well, Richard Simmons passed away yesterday,
and did
too.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth, yes.
Yeah, my buddy Wilson, he's been a hot topic in the podcast lately. He texted me, he's like, R.I.P. Shannon, but she'd been sick for a while. And I'm like, I was talking to